They both have their own challenges. To my mind, trading an individual stock, it's a question of sort of the information you're getting on that particular stock. Now, I mean, sort of people who trade stocks for a living or who study the stock market like to think that they have a particular edge, have a particular piece of inside knowledge on that stock, which means that there's a very good reason for owning it or for selling it. And that may or may not be the case. Now, of course, for most stocks, for most of the big stocks, that won't be the case, because we get back to sort of hopefully most of the information hits the market at the right time and everybody gets to hear that information at the same time, because there are laws about this. And for the most part that works, although we can see sort of egregious examples where it hasn't worked, but that's by the by. In terms of, so what I'm saying is that, stocks, to my mind, people who are trading stocks, a lot of people like to think they have a little bit of an edge on something and they know a little bit more than somebody else. And I would say that in the FX markets, that doesn't happen to the same degree. Now, what I like about FX is, of course, you're not valuing something absolutely. I mean, a company can go bust and the shareholders get wiped out, and that's it. It doesn't matter what you paid for it. It's now worth nothing, and that's your money gone. A currency pair is quite different, of course. It's a comparison between, the relative strengths of those currencies. It's a sort of a way of measuring the relative strength or weakness of two countries against each other. So, that's quite a nice thing. And I think from a technical perspective, if you are a technical trader, then trading currencies is, I think, I'm not going to say easier, but I think the more chances of trading successfully a currency pair using technicals, looking at support and resistance levels, looking to see if it's trending or not, and especially for a day trader, then you have far more opportunities to trade currencies, and I think it's probably a better proposition, day trading FX, than it ever would be trading stocks.
Are there any techniques to becoming a good forex trader, and are there any retail traders who are successful trading the forex markets? So how do you come, and are there examples?
Okay, I mean, to become a successful forex trader, I think you can talk generically about trading full stop, but let's talk about an FX trader, and let's talk about someone who wants to day trade. In other words, and by day trading I mean probably someone who isn't going to hold a position overnight necessarily. So when they go to bed, that's it. They're going to cut out that bit. That's the end of the trade. So let's just sort of think about that for a bit. For anyone doing this, whether it's as a hobby, a pastime, or sort of as something as another part of making money, they're looking to sort of make money from it. Discipline is absolutely key. It's boring, I know, but it's absolutely key, and you've got to have a certain amount of dispassion. And the way you take the emotion and become dispassionate is being very disciplined in the way you plan and execute a trade. So that means doing your homework. So I mean, for me, that means understanding as much as you can the fundamental drivers of a particular market, whether that be one currency against another, whether that be a gold or silver, or whether it be an individual stock. I prefer the indices personally. You try and understand what are the fundamental drivers pushing that one way or the other at any one time. Then look at some basic, even if you're not technically minded, try and understand, look at the charts, look at some long-term charts, and then look at some shorter-term charts, and try to establish and see if there are any patterns there, support, resistance, trends, ranges, anything like that. And then once you've done that, look at where you're looking to enter a trade and where you're going to exit the trade. And this means being very disciplined about it, not getting in too early. So if wait until your buy or sell limit is reached, and then make sure you actually put a stop in and have a very good idea, if not put in a limit as well. And I mean these for real. I don't mean these imaginary, something that you've just thought up in your head and say, if it goes, well, actually, okay, I've bought it there, and if it goes down 100 points, I'll definitely cut it, and then you don't, and then you let it go another 100 points and so on. You know, we're talking about actually putting a stop in here, because you know, to misphrase Rod Stewart, I mean, the first cut is the cheapest. It invariably is. You know, get out first time round. Don't give yourself the hardship of sort of watching something just move against you and against you. It's soul destroying.
Are there retail traders who are successful trading the forex market?
Yes, I mean, I have seen and come across a lot of successful retail traders in forex, and they will, you know, there's the same thing in common. They've been disciplined in their trading. They haven't done it just for the buzz or just for the hell of it or just because I quite fancy this. You know, it really isn't like putting a bet on who's going to win the general election or a horse or anything. You know, this is something. These are leveraged high risk products, and you can lose a lot more than you gain to win in some cases, and you know that's a real issue. And so, you know, although they can be very exciting and addictive, it's really important to really think very hard about each and individual trade, because you know, and keep your losses, keep control of your losses. In other words, don't let these run away with you, because once your trading capital's gone, that's it. You can't make it back. That's it. You know, or you've got to, you know, what are you going to do? Where's your next trading capital going to come from? And what frame of mind will you be in if you think, oh, I've lost all that money and I've got to make this back? You've got to sort of put all those emotions and things aside, and you know, just don't overextend yourself with one particular trade.